I'm gonna be recapping, reviewing Season 6, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. So if you are not caught up on Game of Thrones, turn this video off. I don't want you guys to get spoiled if you're not caught up on Game of Thrones, because for me, a lot of really cool things happened in this episode of Game of Thrones. So let's just get started. All right, so we all know Jon Snow is alive. We had a moment with Melisandre. We had a moment with Davos, then being like, oh my gosh, you're alive. And I really loved that they asked him, like, when you were dead, what did you see? And he says, nothing. I actually read an article of Kit Harington, and he basically said because he realized that there was nothing after life, he can now be inspired to go live the life that he wants to live, and one that is going to be not on the wall, and maybe be more helpful for his family, maybe find out his true purpose in life. And gosh, I mean, if you guys saw the SNL skit from this week about Jon Snow, it is hilarious and is like everything us Game of Thrones fans were thinking. Hurry up, Jon Snow, wake up from the dead and now go fight somebody because we're ready for you to be you. But I just really loved that. He said there was nothing in death. So I think that's gonna be a huge turning point for Jon Snow, as we saw in the end, which I will get to. Bran had another vision and it was cool. I'm getting used to the idea of seeing these flashbacks and seeing his visions. Of course, we're at the Tower of Joy, which we were all waiting for, and it had to happen eventually. The Tower of Joy is such an important piece of Game of Thrones history that needed to be in the season, that really needed to find its way onto the show, because the whole story of Ned and Robert Baratheon fighting to save Lyanna, all of that was so vital. So I'm really happy we're getting these visions through Bran. We saw Ned Stark take on everybody, and we all know that Ned Stark then goes up into the Tower of Joy to find his sister dying, basically. I think that the scream we heard was her giving birth, or something along those lines, maybe dying from birth-related injuries, whatever. I think that that's what's happening in the Tower of Joy. All of that was so fascinating, and I'm wondering if they're gonna reveal that information. Are we gonna get to see Lyanna? Are we gonna get to see her in the Tower of Joy and get some of that backstory? I think that'd be amazing. I just think it would be super interesting to get a piece of the Rhaegar history and stuff with Lyanna and Ned Stark. I just think it would be so interesting to see. So I'm really hoping they do explore that. But of course, if they do, it's going to give away a huge plot point of the series. So who knows if they're actually gonna go there, but maybe, like I said, I think we're hearing her in labor, maybe, from the tower. So who knows, but I'm just so excited to see more. I'm liking Bran's visions, and I love that they allow for more backstory, which is really cool because the backstory of Game of Thrones is awesome. I love the scene with Sam and Gilly on the boat. That's actually from the books, and I've been waiting for them to just get on the boat forever, and it was just a really sweet scene. We hadn't seen Sam and Gilly all season, so it was nice to see them, to find out where they might be going, and excited to see that storyline progress further. Poor Arya keeps getting the crap beaten out of her, but in this episode we're seeing that she's mastering her skills, being blind and being able to defend herself, and her senses are becoming more aware, and then we finally see her drink from the fountain, which is supposed to kill you, but no, it gives her her eyes back. Awesome, so cool. So I guess she's ready to be a full-blown awesome ninja assassin. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for it. But Arya's storyline just gets more interesting. I didn't think she'd get her eyes back so quickly in the season, so I'm excited to see where they take her in the next episode and what she ends up doing. Poor Dany finally meets the Dosh Khaleen, and they give her a nice little stern talking to. Oh, you think you were gonna conquer the world with Khal Drogo? Well, so did I, and so did everyone else here, and since you didn't come straight to us when Khal Drogo died, you're gonna be punished. I'm really hoping Dany finds a way to get herself out of the situation without help from Jorah and Daario Naharis. I'm really hoping she doesn't have to be rescued, but looking forward to see where that storyline goes. Meanwhile, Tyrion is trying to have small talk with Grey Worm and Missandei, which was hilarious, trying to teach them a drinking game, even though they don't drink. They're not very good at talking or having small talk. It was hilarious. I love all the scenes this season with Tyrion. I think he's finally able to be really funny and be himself, but I think he's just waiting around for Dany to get back. So I'm kind of ready for him to spring to action. but I am definitely not hating these hilarious scenes with him. We had Tommen go speak with the High Sparrow about letting his mom see his dead sister's resting place. I was actually shocked he didn't say, I want to see my wife. Like, what the heck? I'm ready to see Marjorie. I want more of Marjorie. I want to know what's going on with her, which in the preview for episode 4, we did see Marjorie, so I'm hoping that we get a bit more of the storyline for her because I love her. And what the heck, Tommen? Like, go get your wife out of prison. What's wrong with you? And of course the High Sparrow is so good at talking to him, and Tommen just, you know, feeds right into that. So that made me so mad. I was like, come on, Tommen, you went in there all strong, and look at you. You're melting like a puddle. Ah, poor Tommen. I mean, if he was just taught the right ways to do things, he might be a better, stronger king. That scene was very interesting, and just seeing how innocent of a person he is and just trying to understand the High Sparrow and the gods and all of this. So whatever, I still think Tommen should have barged in there and gotten his wife out of prison, but maybe that will come in the future, but I doubt it. And if it does, it won't be by Tommen's hand. So we kind of had two oh snap moments in this episode, one of them being that Ramsay Bolton now has Asha and Rickon Stark. Holy moly, Rickon Stark! Everyone always forgets about Rickon, and I find it so funny that they finally found a way to bring him back into the season. I have no clue what he's gonna end up doing in the books, but the fact that Ramsay has Rickon, and then of course they killed poor Shaggy Dog, which is a huge sadness. Those poor Stark direwolves just keep dying off. But that was kind of a shocker. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, when I saw Asha, I was like, oh, that's Rickon. They're bringing Rickon back into the storyline. Awesome! Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen, but I'm really kind of hoping Asha is the one to take out Ramsay Bolton because he's just so awful and she's so awesome. I would love to see her destroy him, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think only heartbreak and sadness for poor Asha and Rickon, so we're gonna have to wait and find out about that. But that was a huge shocker. I was like, oh my gosh, no! Sansa Stark just got away, and of course, Ramsay has to get his hands on another Stark. Then finally at the end, we go back to Jon Snow, where we say goodbye to Alliser Thorne and Ollie. Farewell, you horrible, horrible people. Whatever, they thought what they were doing was right, but whatever, they killed Jon Snow, so they could go die, and they did. And then Jon Snow was like, mic drop, I'm out of here. My watch has ended. Peace. And he marches out of there and gives up the Night's Watch. Yes! Finally! All of us fans are sitting there like, yes, it's about time. It took 6 seasons to get Jon off that stupid wall, and now, Jon, you get out there and you take on everyone that has wronged your family, please, and just kill them all! Kill them all! I'm just so happy Jon pieced it out of there. I can't wait to see what he does next. Can't wait to see how Dany gets out of her situation, as well as Marjorie. We did have an awesome scene with Olenna Tyrell. She's a favorite of mine. She's incredible, and I love her dynamic against Cersei. It's just so good. So I can't wait to see where the season goes. Obviously this episode, I think the biggest shockers were Jon leaving, which all the fans, we kind of knew he had to do that, right? We knew. But that's a shocker for some people, as well as poor Rickon Stark. As well as stuff with Lyanna in the Tower of Joy. This episode was really exciting, especially as a book reader, just to get to see some of the backstory and small things that were mentioned in the book just kind of come to life was really fun. So I look forward to episode 4 next week, but I want to know from you guys, what was your favorite part of the episode? Anything you want to discuss, theories, thoughts, opinions, whatever, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.